Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into something I think a lot of us have wondered about. Why can it be so hard to make friends? We're going to explore the psychology behind it all and hopefully get to know ourselves a little better along the way.
Have you ever been there? You're at a party or a new job, and the simple act of connecting with someone just feels complicated. If that sounds even a little bit familiar, trust me, you are so not alone.
So how about we try to figure this out together? We're going to do a quick, super simple psychological test. And look, this isn't some heavy diagnosis, okay? It's just a fun way to discover your unique social style, to kind of see what makes you tick. Ready to jump in?
Okay, here's how it works. It's really easy. For every question I ask, just think about how much it applies to you. Give yourself a 0 if it's not true, a 1 if it's somewhat true, and a 2 if it's very true. Just keep a little tally as we go. Let's get started.
All right, question number 1. I often feel that small talk is meaningless. Is this you? Do you just wish you could hit the fast forward button through all the chit-chat about the weather and just get to the real stuff? Go ahead, give yourself a score. 0, 1, or 2.
Okay, on to number 2. After a conversation, I overthink what I said. Oh man, this one's a classic, right? Are you the person lying in bed at night replaying something you said at lunch that day? Yeah. Score yourself.
Question 3 for you. I enjoy being alone and don't feel the need for many friends. So does a quiet weekend with your own thoughts sound like pure bliss, way better than a huge get-together? You know what to do.
All right, number 4. And this one can be a little sensitive, so just be honest with yourself. I've been hurt or disappointed in past relationships. Take a moment and give yourself a score.
We are officially halfway through. Here's question 5. I get tired quickly after socializing with a lot of people. You know that feeling of having a social battery? Does yours drain super fast? Score it.
Let's do number 6. I often feel that other people are insincere or a bit fake. Do you ever just look around a room and feel like everyone's just performing, putting on an act? What's your score on that one?
Okay, question 7. I'm afraid of saying something foolish and being judged for it. That little voice in your head that says, don't say that, they'll think you're weird. How loud is it for you?
And for number 8, I only want to be friends with people who truly understand me. Is that a deal breaker for you? Like you're not interested in a friendship unless it's that real, deep down, they get me kind of connection? Score yourself.
Almost there. Question 9. I find it difficult to open up to new people. Think about it. When you meet someone new, are you an open book or you keep your cards pretty close to your chest?
And here we are, our final question, number 10. I tend to observe and analyze people more than I join the conversation. Are you the person who's kind of hanging back, taking it all in, figuring people out? All right, pencils down. The test is over. Now for the fun part. Let's figure out what this all means.
So depending on how you answered, you'll probably see yourself in one or maybe even a couple of these 4 social styles. Now, these aren't meant to be strict labels that box you in. Think of them more like archetypes. They're just helpful ways to understand how you navigate the social world. Let's dive in.
First up, we've got the deep connector. If you scored high on the questions about small talk being meaningless, people seeming insincere, and wanting friends who truly get you, well, this is probably you. You're not just looking for someone to hang out with. You are searching for a genuine, profound connection. So for deep connectors, all that surface-level chit-chat just feels exhausting. It's because you're wired to talk about the big stuff, ideas, feelings, what really matters. Now, this can make finding the right people feel a little harder, but here's the amazing upside. When you do connect with someone, those friendships are solid. They're built to last.
Okay, next up is a style I think a lot of us will recognize, the social overthinker. If you scored high on overthinking what you said, worrying about getting judged, and observing more than talking, this one might hit home. Your brain is like a supercomputer, constantly processing and analyzing every little social detail. If you're a social overthinker, you're always wondering, was that awkward? Did they take that the wrong way? You're analyzing their tone, their body language, everything. But, and this is so important, there's a real superpower here. That constant analysis makes you incredibly tuned into how other people are feeling. You're highly sensitive and deeply empathetic.
Let's talk about our third style, the independent mind. This is for anyone who scored high on enjoying being alone and having a social battery that drains quickly. And it's crucial to understand, this person isn't lonely, not at all. They're actually really self-sufficient, finding tons of energy and fulfillment in their own rich inner world.
Seriously, for the independent mind, solitude is a good thing. It's refreshing. They just don't have a high need for constant social interaction. They'd often rather be working on a personal project, reading, or just thinking. And their strength? It's huge. We're talking about incredible self-reliance and a really strong sense of who they are.
And that brings us to our last style, the guarded person. This connects to scoring high on being hurt in the past and finding it hard to open up. Look, if this is you, your caution isn't some kind of flaw. It's actually a really smart protective mechanism. Your brain learns from past experience, maybe a bad breakup or a friendship that ended poorly, that it's just safer to take your time and be careful with your heart.
And honestly, this right here might be the most important part of our whole conversation. It's what I call the great reframe. See, society has a habit of putting negative labels on these things. What we call a social problem, let's reframe that. It's actually high self-awareness. What we dismiss as being too picky or awkward, no, that's having high emotional standards. And being called antisocial, you know what that really is? It means you're a deep thinker. It's all about changing how we look at it.
So that begs the question, right? What's the magic number of friends we're all supposed to have? 20? 50? 1,000 followers on social media? Well, the research is pretty clear, and it might surprise you. Our real, lasting happiness doesn't come from having a ton of friends. It comes from the quality of just 2 or 3 deep, authentic relationships. That's it, just 2 or 3. So that leaves us with a really big question to think about, doesn't it? If psychology tells us that our well-being is tied to the depth of just a few connections, not the number, then why is our society so obsessed with quantity over quality? Why do we celebrate having a huge social network like it's the ultimate prize? Something to chew on. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.